coverage, BYU and Pacific on BYU TV. Cougars control the tap. Such a red-hot start Thursday night against St. Mary's, and a turnover to start tonight. Brady Industries, a provider of commercial cleaning supplies and equipment. Clean solutions, a tradition for generations. Brady Industries providing our score bug for tonight. And Dave Rose telling us that the Tigers are good at, well, they're big, they're long, they'll attack the basket as TJ Wallace knocks down his first shot. Really gave BYU some trouble in Stockton in January.
And the key for Wallace to get a good start like he did, he shoots a step-back jump shot and knocks it down. He's just so versatile with what he can do. He'll take you off the dribble and finish at the rim and get to the free throw line. And for BYU, they want to pressure him. He has the ball in his hands a lot. He's had a tendency to turn it over when he's had too much pressure. And that's the key.
First foul on Taylor. Tyler Haws in foul trouble in the first half. Hardly played Thursday night in the first half. Finished with 15 points. 55 to pass the great Jimmer Fredette. Fisher for three. Chase had a hot night on Thursday. He picks up right where he left off. Now 81 threes this season. Sixth best all time in a single season for shooting the long ball.
And he's shooting a good percentage, 41.5% from three for Chase Fisher. And when he gets started well, it can really, really be a dangerous offensive threat from out there when he's feeling it.
Ball off of McGehee and out of bounds.
And a good setup, an assist for Kyle Collinsworth as he penetrates that defense and kicks it out to Chase Fisher. Just that one dribble in the shot. And Fisher, yeah, when he gets hot early, all I think about is that Chaminade game over in Hawaii where he made 10 threes. It was ridiculous that night.
Here's Chase from the corner looking for another one. Fight for the rebound off of Pacific. Extra hustle by Sharp to keep that possession alive. Get an idea of Chase. He's got 81 threes. Phenomenal. Jimmer had 124 in that 2010 and 11 season.
That was a crazy year and a fun year. And Josh Sharp gets BYU an extra possession with a hustle play. And what a role he played in that St. Mary's game with 8 points and 6 rebounds.
Wallace, his first three offering. Foul, down low. It's going to go against BYU. Fisher now 1 for 3. And Kaufusi picks up his first. Corbin Kaufusi at 6'10" may have had his best game of the year Thursday night. Didn't score, but had 4 blocks and 5 rebounds. As Kaufusi comes out, Luke Worthington checks in, but BYU was very happy with Kaufusi's defense.
And because of Kaufusi's ability to play defense without fouling and to play Brad Waddle, and their plan to double team from the baseline was a really, really good game plan by this BYU coaching staff. It made a huge difference. It was the best game defensively, in my opinion, that BYU's played all season long.
Strong to the basket, Sharp on the block, but the foul is called as Eric Thompson took it to the rack. And Thompson will go to the free throw line. Luke Worthington picks up his first.
And Worthington with a foul, but watch Sharp lurking from the backside who slaps that thing away. And I can't say enough about what Josh Sharp has done in the last couple of games, because this is a guy that was just buried on the bench. Didn't complain, practiced hard, and when they finally gave him an opportunity, he went in and he brought an energy to this team defensively and in the rebounding category that they have needed badly. And Dave Rose rewards him by more minutes and another start.
And Dave said today, visiting with him, he wasn't quite sure how it was going to go. Sharp had sat 11 games without playing. Anson Winder was hurt. He's hurt again tonight, so he's not an option. And so he said, well, put Sharp in. He's a senior. Let's see what happens. And boy, has he responded. 4-0, or 4-3 rather, for the Tigers. Haws, first shot of the night from the baseline, and Tyler for 2.
Tyler Haws worked so hard without the basketball to get himself open. You go down on an offensive set, he's going to run off multiple screens and do such a great job of catch and shoot basketball.
Tyler has 130th start for Dave Rose.
And there you see
Wallace making it look easy.
You see why Wallace is so dangerous. We saw him make a step-back jump shot. Now you see him put the ball on the floor and attack and get right to the rim. It's just so complete offensively.
Wallace now with 4. Mentioned he had 18 in the first meeting. Fisher all the way in. Short on the shot after hitting that three. Chase has missed 3 in a row. And the foul is on Sharp. That's his first. Taylor checks back in for the Tigers. And Ray Bowles will check out.
And for Ron Verlin, he knew this was going to be an interesting year, a transition year as they go to youth. And TJ Wallace is a sophomore, as a centerpiece, but seniors Bach and Gill and Taku, Rivera, Harris, those were their 5 leading scorers last year. They're all gone. They graduated, and so this was a start over for Ron Verlin.
And he said today that the theme is clarity is power. Simplify, get them to play hard. We'll put the strategy in later. There's Sharp flying high over everybody on the rebound. Hawes on the run. And there's Wallace getting work done on the other end. He averages just over 13 points and just under 6 rebounds. Little push off, gets away from Sharp, sinks the bucket. The Tigers are up 8 to 5, 6 points for Wallace.
Yeah, when you look at Wallace, he's built like an NFL strong safety. He's 6'3", 205 pounds, and so very strong and can use contact to his advantage offensively.
Collinsworth into the lane. Bounces it in. There's the first 2 of the night for Kyle Collinsworth. He had a triple-double at Pacific, 17 points, 11 assists, and 11 rebounds.
Well, and he's just a mismatch every game because he's so agile and such a great ball handler at 6'6", and it's going to be a really, really tough guard for TJ Wallace at 6'3" to try to stop Collinsworth from getting into the paint and doing that.
So they're giving up 73 a game, but they've given up 64 over the last 2, and already you can see him making an impact tonight.
The defense is about effort. The one thing that Sharp brings, he brings an energy and an effort that's contagious. And I love how he tracks every rebound. It doesn't matter whether it's on the offense or defensive end. He's going to go get after it. And he picked up a rebounding foul already. I don't mind that because I love the attitude he brings.
Halford off the bench up with a shot. There's Sharp again, another rebound. Halford will try it again for 3.
So Josh Sharp, give him credit for that. Second chance opportunities, and so many times you see 3-pointers made when they come from an offensive board. You kick it out to an offensive player that's sitting square on that 3-point line with a great look. So let's give Josh Sharp credit for that one.
Ron Verlin telling us, Halford and Fisher just drive him nuts because so much attention has to go to Hawes and Collinsworth. And when those 2 are hitting, BYU's awfully tough to beat.
So here comes, you see Josh Sharp coming from the outside, always tracking those offensive boards. And now let's give him an assist. I wish we could give him the 3 points because he deserves it right there.
Halford had 15 at Pacific. Fisher had 18 in that game. 10-8 BYU. And Sharp hit with a foul before they could get the ball inbounds. And that's the second on Sharp, and that brings Frank Bartley off the bench and into the game. Bartley played very well Thursday night against St. Mary's. 9 points, and Sharp will go to the bench with those 2 fouls.
And Bartley had a complete game, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. He had a blocked shot, played really good defense. I was impressed with Halford, Bartley, and Sharp because they're kind of unsung heroes in that game. Not the guys we talk about all the time, but they were all terrific in that St. Mary's win.
Bowles, Lampkin, turnaround shot. Worthington hands it to Halford. Halford always travels at full speed. Worthington gets it back. Tough to finish that one, and Wallace pulls it down. Quiet start for Collinsworth. We saw him on SportsCenter earlier this week, starting to get some props for these triple doubles. He had a big game, as mentioned, against the Tigers last month. Shot clock under 10. Long 3-point shot is off. Taylor got a good look. Here's Collinsworth on the run with a lane to the basket. And he's fouled on the drive. Foul goes against Ray Bowles, freshman out of Modesto, his first. And BYU will have it under their basket. Ryan Andrus into the game, and Luke Worthington will check out. Andrus with mission plans after this season, along with Dalton Nixon. So those 2 freshmen will head out. Halford There's Andrus fighting to keep it alive, but Wallace out with it and on the run. And Andrus back defensively, knocks the ball away. Andrus has had a pretty good month after riding the pine for much of the season.
When you think about the different combinations that Dave Rose, because of injuries and youth, has put out on that floor, usually when you build, you know, our little boards that we build for a game, you only need about 10 spots. If you have 10 spots, most teams have an 8 or 9 man rotation sometimes. Gosh, Dave Rose will play 13 guys in a game and not even think twice about it.
It's amazing what this team has done without a center. Wallace from way out. Tigers get the offensive rebound. Another look. Taylor, that one off the mark. And Haas with it. Without a center, BYU's largest defeat is 7 points. The 8 losses, an average of 5.8. They're undefeated when they win the rebounding war. Now you throw a big man in there that can get boards and points, and all of a sudden you have a Sweet 16 type team with Haas and Collinsworth and Fisher and Winder and all those folks. So to be knocking on the door of 20 wins at this level of play without a center says something about what that staff's been able to do.
Yeah, when you look at scoring for BYU, when you start from top down, it's Tyler Haas, guard. Anson Winder, guard. Chase Fisher, guard. Kyle Collinsworth, guard. Skylar Helford, guard. You don't get in the scoring column to a post player until you get down to Isaac Nielsen averaging 3.6 points a game. And so not a lot of offensive production there. But in the last couple weeks, I really love the defensive production that they're starting to get out of Kaufusi when he can stay out of foul trouble.
4 points now for Haas. BYU up 12-8. A moment ago, it was Wallace picking up his first foul. Wallace is out for the moment. Jelani Robinson, right here, made 7 3-pointers earlier in the year against Colorado State. Ron Verlin needs a focused attack from number 5. Here's a 3. Right in.
Right on cue, too, man. Yeah, Jelani Robinson, a JC transfer from City College of San Francisco, had 26 points in that career high against Colorado State where he made those 7 threes. And he's one, like Chase Fisher, that if he gets hot, he can just fill it up.
He had a much better non-league season than he has in the WCC. But boy, they could use a big night from him tonight. That one's off of Andrus's foot. And BYU turns it over, leading by 1 with 12 minutes and 1 second to play. Fisher is back into the game. Tyler Haas will go out for BYU.
Back to your discussion about centers and post play. Keep in mind, they have some talented guys, but Nielsen's a freshman, Kaufusi's a freshman. And, you know,
Andrus is a freshman.
Worthington is a sophomore. Andrus is so they're just very, very young, and they got some folks coming off missions over the next couple of years that are big-time talents that can play down low as well.
Well, they miss Nate Austin, who we haven't seen in uniform since December 10th. His season is over. He's going to apply for a medical redshirt and be back next year.
Yeah, and he is a defensive presence and a rebounding presence that can give you some scoring.
Bartley now on the run. Bartley gets it back for 3. Robinson on the rebound, and back come the Tigers. Pacific started the season playing pretty good, and league play has really found them banged up. There's another 3.
That's a rainbow, beautiful
Robinson.
shot with great rotation. So he starts out making his first 2 from there. And for BYU, now you go, okay, this is a guy that you know can be prolific from out there. You got to find 5 every time down the floor, whether it be transition or in the offense. You got to mark him.
Collinsworth fouled, making his move to the basket. Fouls on Ray Bull.
Dave Rose has enjoyed a pretty good last week. 2 blowout wins, including a 22-point drubbing of St. Mary's. On Monday, BYU made Rose's 5-year contract extension official. The Marriott Center upgrades announced on Tuesday, as well as a practice facility. He's hoping that good luck continues tonight.
Chase Fisher is fouled. Will go to the line and shoot 2. David Taylor gets his second as Haas gets ready to check back in.
And they need to get Haas back in there. Right now, BYU shooting 38.5% from the field, identical to that of Pacific. Haas is 2 of 3. The rest of the team is 3 of 10. And for Pacific, it's the Stars. So TJ Wallace is 3 of 5. The rest of the team, 2 of 8.
Fisher, 77% on the year. You know, Fisher and Haas play really close together on the floor, both the guards. And Fisher now, this will be his 51st free throw attempt. And Tyler has 189.
Yeah. Well, Haas is constantly the entire focus of every team they plays defense. And so they're going to be running with him, putting their nose on his back number as he runs off screens and trying to guard him and be physical with him. And in spite of that, again, here is average over 20 points a game for the 3rd year in a row. It's just crazy how good he's been and consistent he's been.
Robinson into the lane, goes up high, and rolls it in there now with 8 points.
Yeah, Robinson now 3 of 4, 2 from behind that 3-point line. Playing very well.
Bartley, they'll give him a little space, try to lure him into shooting some threes. Here he is again. Now driving to the basket, gets contact. He'll say, you know, I'm going to get a 3, but it's going to be the conventional way. And he'll go to the line and a chance at a 3-point play. Agihi picks up his first.
And for Bartley, his minutes, he hasn't played a lot of minutes, but when he comes into the ball game, always prepared to play, plays solid defense. You know you're going to get effort out of him when he comes into the game. And I like the way he takes care of the basketball. 27 assists and just 16 turnovers in his 7 minutes a game. And what a big role he played in that St. Mary's win the other night.
Free throw off. And the Tigers bring it down. Eric Thompson on the rebound. Robinson has scored Pacific's last 8 points. He's the man with the ball and the hot hand, as we're tied up at 16 here midway through the first half. Hard to believe in a couple weeks we'll be in Las Vegas for full coverage of the tournament on BYU TV and ESPN, and boy, that's come up fast. Good looking shot up off the glass for Taylor, his first 2. And the Tigers back up by 2.
David Taylor, a sophomore, as well as young basketball team. Had 20 against LMU earlier this season, so he's capable, averaging 6.7 a game.
Haas open for 3. He had to shake TJ Wallace, did just enough to get the shot off, and Tyler now is 7.
And Haas just continues to work on his game, not just in the offseason, all through the season. And what a difference we see in his range this year. He's got NBA range out to 3 now that not so sure he had 2 years ago, but that's just a product of great work.
Robinson. Here's Wallace with the right hand. Up again. Kafusi brings it down. The Cougars come out running. Haas another 3. Too strong. Thompson hands it over to Robinson. Back we go. Robinson not waiting for his teammates. Up over the backboard. And it'll be BYU basketball. Caleb Warner in for Pacific. Dalton Nixon in for the first time tonight for BYU as Bartley goes out. And Jacob Lampkin returns as well for the Tigers.
Dalton Nixon, another guy that's given Dave Rose some quality minutes, averaging just over 10 minutes a game, another freshman. And he's a big guy that has range and can stretch a defense out or go rebound the basketball.
Haas now with 9. Started the night needing 55 to pass Jimmer Fredette. He's chipping away. Cougars are home next Thursday against San Diego on ESPNU. That could be the night that he gets it done. If not, it'll be at Portland. So if you're gonna do it, either do it in Las Vegas like Jimmer did in front of thousands, or do it at home. Halford going coast to coast, has it blocked. Tarkanian and Ron Verlin was an assistant at Pacific in some classic battles between UNLV and Pacific, and learned all about defense. Jerry Tarkanian will be laid to rest on Monday in Las Vegas. You were there last week.
Yeah, you had a lot of interaction with Coach Tarkanian when you were in Vegas for all those years. And I did a UNLV game this week, earlier this week, the night before Coach passed away, and there's a lot of great sentiment and a lot of great thoughts about Jerry Tarkanian in that city. And I thought it was appropriate. It was Fresno State and UNLV, the two programs that he loves so much that we were able to do, and did a great tribute to him at halftime of that game.
Turnover Pacific. BYU on a 7-0 run, leading 23-18. Collinsworth back in the game. BYU 93 points on the road at Pacific. They shot lights out. Nixon. Offensive foul after getting rid of the basketball, his first, and the Tigers get the ball.
A smart play by Eric Thompson, the junior, down on the baseline sim. He knew that Nixon was coming, was set to take the charge. Had Nixon gone up with a shot, but Nixon elected to dish, but still in great position. Feet set, good defense. We've seen a lot of zone out of BYU here in this ball game in the first half. Trying to force Pacific to be a jump shooting basketball team. For Pacific, they've got to get that ball into the interior of the defense, go inside out if they can get it in there. But ball movement and then trying to attack is the key. There it is.
On Kaufusi, left hand, kept alive. And Thompson with 2 looks at it. The second one earns him a trip to the free throw line as Kaufusi picks up his second.
Well, not easy, but they did get the ball into the interior of that defense, and good things happen. You can break a zone down if you can get that ball into the paint, either to attack from in there or to kick the ball to the outside to open shooters.
Thompson out of Detroit via Saddleback Community College. 60% on the season from the free throw line. He had 13 points against BYU in January. Didn't score Thursday night in the Tigers' loss at San Diego.
The one thing Thompson brings to this team is consistent rebounding, averaging over 5 rebounds a game. Had 11 boards at USD and 5 blocks for his career high.
McGehee back in. Worthington back in. And the rebound for Collinsworth. That's his second. Oz. Tapped out to Robinson. And they go again to Thompson. 2 more. Now Thompson with 5, and it's a 2-point game. Collinsworth from the free throw line. Strong to the basket, blocked by Worthington as he denies Ray Bowles. Taylor going to check back in, and the Tigers keep possession under their basket.
Well, I like how Pacific has been on attack the last 3 or 4 times down the floor. They haven't just settled for jump shots. They're getting that ball in. They're trying to get to the rim, trying to get to the free throw line, and it's paid off for them.
5:45 to go here in the half. It's a 2-point game.
BYU still in that zone.
That first game was 93-80. These teams are going to have to pick up the pace.
It's a little different pace in this one.
Shot clock's at 7. Robinson up over Collinsworth. Ties the game at 23. Ron Verlin with a quick timeout. And he'll huddle up the Tigers. 11 points now for Robinson. Let's look around the league today as now every game starts to become a little more significant. St. Mary's beat San Diego in double overtime. That was a close one. BYU pulling for the Toreros in that one because they want to catch St. Mary's for the 2 seed. That's a big rebound game for the Gales.
Boy, and San Diego had to secure a defensive rebound, and they gave St. Mary's a second chance opportunity to get that thing into overtime, and that was a very, very close one. And then
the upside for Gonzaga and Pepperdine is a loss for Pepperdine tonight would give BYU a 2-game lead for 3rd, second or third seed keeps you out of Gonzaga's bracket.
And I'll tell you, the Zags are rolling
Yeah.
right now. I mean, they are really playing great basketball. As good as anyone in the country. They're a legitimate 1 seed right now in the NCAA tournament. How good are they?
And you think for BYU, can they get into the NCAA tournament? Well, they can't have any trip-ups. They could lose at Spokane, but they're going to have to beat St. Mary's again, get to the finals of the WCC, and hope that that's enough. But again, there's no room for errors. Haas goes fighting with Wallace for the ball. It's a jump ball. See Tyler there holding his ground. Wallace isn't going to back away either. And possession arrow, we've yet to see. It'll go to the Tigers.
Good physical play down there.
Then stare down. It's like after one of the scenes in Rocky.
It gets a little intense out there, right?
Tyler's going to cool off on the bench for a moment. BYU at 41%. Tigers right there at 39% in a 23-23 tie.
And I'll tell you, I think Ron Verlin loves this pace. This is, obviously at their place, it was a high-paced game, and it didn't pay off. And BYU really getting in a groove and scoring a lot of points, and then trying to keep up was not the right formula for Pacific. But this is a good formula, and keeping that score down, they've stayed in this thing in the first half.
Agihi is fouled hard by Bartley. You talk about taking the transition game away from the BYU offense. No fast break points so far.
They've done a good job of getting back, and they've also done a good job of contesting offensive boards. And even if they're not getting those offensive boards, they're forcing BYU to kind of take the ball out, get it out to the outlet, and not get transition opportunities.
Gabriel Agihi out of Sao Paulo, Brazil. He's at the City College of San Francisco. Gets the free throw to go. Spencer.
As much as we've talked about Dave Rose and BYU stressing rebounding to the Cougars, Ron Verlin of Pacific has stressed it every bit as much to his team. Tonight they're winning the rebounding battle 18-13, and that has not been a good sign for BYU this season. Dave?
Tigers on a 6-0 run. Ball knocked out of bounds off of Pacific. Rebounding is everything when you're in last place or playing without a dominant inside guy.
Well, and BYU loves the transition and that early offense that comes with it. And if you're not cleanly getting defensive boards and getting it out, then it's tough to run. And then second chance points are so important. So those offensive boards.
Draws contact from Wallace. And that's the second on Wallace. That'll send Kyle to the free throw line. Wallace can't afford to get in foul trouble either, as he is the backbone of this entire team.
And not only their leading scorer, but also their leading rebounder from that guard line.
Quite half for Collinsworth. 3 points, 3 assists, a couple of rebounds. Andrus is in. Bartley will come out. Game's tied at 24. Collinsworth at the line. Chance to give BYU the lead. We talked about it all season, Blaine. He was 56% from the line last year, 73% this year. What a difference for Collinsworth.
We talked about Hawes and how he'd improved his three-point shooting in his range. Tyler wasn't a bad three-point shooter, but he went from a decent three-point shooter to a really good three-point shooter. Kyle Collinsworth went from a bad free throw shooter to a good free throw shooter. He's put a ton of work in, and what a difference it makes for BYU, especially down the stretch in games, because he has the ball in his hands all the time, and he can step up and close the game out from the free throw line.
If you're in your junior jazz league and you're not happy with your free throws, practice, practice, practice. And Collinsworth is a perfect example of that. Long three. See how the fight for the rebound. Worthington hands it over to Collinsworth. Halford open for three. Bounces around. Collinsworth flying in to tip it. A foul is called against Pacific. Let's hope he is. Collinsworth at the line. We knew that was off right from the start. And a lane violation. I think he took off a little fast.
Yeah.
He said, hey, that's off, I'm out of here.
It felt weird coming out of his hand. He's like, I know exactly, that thing's coming off right, and I'm going to go get it. But he left a little early.
So missed opportunity on the front end of a one-on-one. 1 point BYU lead, 25-24.
BYU shooting percentage back down under 40% again now in this game.
Robinson high off the glass. Collinsworth out with it.
But you see Pacific get back and run hard in transition. Now Halford's going to get some early offense anyhow, and a tough shot that was contested. But the story in this first half is Pacific, when that rebound is cleared by BYU, they get back and run to that paint and defend. They've done a very good job in the first half.
Halford with 5. Wallace in some trouble, having picked up his dribble. Inside they go, Agihi with the left hand over Worthington. 3 points for Agihi. It's back to a 1-point game. Collinsworth walked into a double team and Bowles steals it away. Bowles going all the way in. Off the glass and gets some contact, but no foul. First 2 for Bowles. Tigers back up by 1. Fisher from way out there. Chase with 8. Cougars back by 2. That brings the student section to life as we near the 2-minute mark of this first half. McGehee up over Collinsworth. Ties it at 30.
Back-to-back good plays by Agihi in the paint, that time from the high post.
Now it's Halford into the lane. Andrus passes on the 3. Fisher, foul, he'll go to the line and a chance to shoot 2. And if that's on Wallace, that's his 3rd, and it is. The danger of leaving a guy in this late in the first half with 2 fouls is that he might pick up his 3rd, and what a big play that could loom to be.
Yeah, and you've got to be smart when you're out there, Wallace. He's the leader of this team, just a sophomore, going aggressively after that shot, and he's got to know how important it is for him to be able to stay on the floor. And here's the sad part. Ron Verlin already had somebody at the scorer's table, David Taylor, that was going to check in for TJ Wallace to get him out of trouble before that foul. And now he leaves him in and says, be smart, okay? Just be smart in this last 142.
I'm surprised he's still in. Fisher now with 10. He'll come out. Hawes is in. Isaac Nielsen checks in for the first time for BYU. 32-30. Minute 42 to go here in the half. Are you surprised that Wallace is still in?
I really am. I thought for certain that David Taylor was going to come in, especially after that 3rd foul. But I saw Ron Verlin say to him, hey, be smart.
Here he is, too strong on the shot. Offensive rebound. Fresh shot clock for Pacific. Robinson's had a good half. 10 points, the high point man for the Tigers. They're looking inside the Thompson, aren't they? The battle between Nielsen and Thompson. Now they go to him. Andrus helping out. Thompson muscles it up. Collinsworth brings it down.
See, and that's where Thompson, when he feels that double team, he's got to kick it back out and repost.
Collinsworth off the glass. Fight for it. Andrus tied up with Robinson. Check that Wallace, and that extra effort wins another possession for BYU as the possession arrow points the way of the Cougars.
Good hustle plays all around. You saw Collinsworth on the floor early, Andrus on the floor. And Andrus, as you mentioned, he's been getting more quality minutes lately and has really had a good month for BYU.
American Fork High School. One of the better players in the state of Utah a year ago, and has mission plans for after the season. Then we'll see him in a couple years. Fresh shot clock for BYU. Collinsworth challenging Thompson. He'll go to the line and he'll shoot 2. As Thompson picks up his 2nd. One thing we've noticed with BYU is if the outside shots aren't going for these guards, they'll just pound it in and try to go to the free throw.
And the beauty is that when you got a guy like Collinsworth, he can score in a multitude of ways, and he's just so big and so strong that he can get wherever he wants on the floor. He can go in there and take it at the big guys. And as we've documented and talked about, when he gets here to the free throw line, it's an okay thing now.
Yeah. 5 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists for Collinsworth. As Haas comes out and Jake Toolson checks in for the first time in the final moments of this first half. Haas with 9 points. Fisher has 10. Collinsworth still sitting on 5. BYU by 3. Tigers can settle for the last shot. We'll get Dave Rose's opinion on the first half here in a moment. Robinson, number 5, against BYU's number 5, Collinsworth. He's a long ways from the basket. 7 seconds. Tigers aren't in their motion yet. Now it's Robinson swooping into the lane, throws it up, and the half will end. A good half for Pacific on the road. The Tigers as we begin the second half of play.
And Robinson gets the start. He didn't start the game, but man, he gave some great energy off the bench for Verlin. And he ended up with 10 points in that first half on 4 of 9.
Agihi matching up with Kafusi. Left hand, and it goes. And it's 33-32. 7 points now for Agihi.
He's been effective. 3 of 5 from the field for Agihi. All those inside variety.
Collinsworth with the right hand. Agihi trying to get the charge. No call, and 7 points now for Kyle.
Very athletic move by Kyle Collinsworth to avoid the charge. It's like he changed directions right at the last minute and went sideways instead of forcing contact.
Interesting that Collinsworth has been assigned Robinson. And Dave Rose is tired of seeing Robinson get 3-point shots off, so they'll put the 6'6" Collinsworth on him. We'll see how that matchup plays out.
Yeah, Robinson 5'9", 172. Collinsworth 6'6", 210.
You'd think that would shut him down.
Yeah.
Inbounds to Thompson. He goes high up. Left hand good. Eric Thompson with 7 points.
Thompson, very physical player at 6'8", 240 that has great vertical jump.
Collinsworth answers right back.
And for Bowles, that's a tough cover for the freshman at 6'5". And Collinsworth just so strong, just takes him right down to that low block and scores.
Kafusi with 3 fouls. Sharp has 2. Wallace with 3 for the Tigers. In the lane and in some trouble, but there's a Agihi off the glass. And a nice dish from Taylor, and back and forth we go. It's a 1-point game. Collinsworth again. And Dave Rose calls a timeout.
Too much standing around. So it's about effort right now and execution. And I can guarantee you Dave Rose, after back-to-back defense and offense, said, seen enough, timeout, let's get going.
Tyler Haas. There's Sharp. Back to Haas. And Tyler will go to the line. Fouled by Thompson. Another extra possession won by the effort of Josh Sharp, and that's the 3rd foul on Thompson.
For Thompson, good hard foul. You have to like the way Tyler Haas attacks. Now, he could have just sat out there on that 3-point line, and as the ball was kicked out by Sharp, settled for a 3, and he said, nah, I'm going to take it to hole this time.
Interesting, Haas, the leading scorer in the WCC, and has been that way all season long. But no Player of the Week awards in the conference, and Kyle Collinsworth has 3, including this last week.
Well, triple doubles are
they're pretty powerful.
They're quite remarkable.
But nobody's scoring more than Tyler.
And Tyler's just, the problem for him is he's just so consistently good.
Yeah.
He just goes out and gets his 22.3 every night. It's not flashy, and so it doesn't draw big time attention. But I'll tell you what, he draws the attention of opposing coaches in their game plan.
Sharp over with the block. Cougars on the run. Collinsworth gets his rebound, puts it back up and in. 11 points for Collinsworth, and Josh Sharp flying in with the swat electrifies the crowd.
So Josh Sharp, you want energy? Josh Sharp absolutely heard Dave Rose in that last timeout saying, let's get things going. He gets an offensive rebound on one end, then he comes back on the other with a rejection that leads to a bucket on the other end.
Gut check time for the Tigers, and we got a foul away from the ball, and it's on Haas with a hold. That allows substitutions to come in. First foul on Haas. TJ Wallace back in with Jacob Lampkin. And the intensity has certainly been increased with that block shot.
And the intensity increased when they came out of that timeout.
Yeah.
Dave Rose is not a guy that gets in his guys' faces very often and gets very animated. When he needs to do that, his patient, his players know that he means business, and he has their attention.
Inside they go again. Shot is short. Nice defense by Andrus. It's Sharp on the rebound. Cougars moving again. Collinsworth rejected. Wallace the other way. Crowd wanted a foul. It's an offensive foul on Wallace, and that is his 4th foul, Blaine.
Boy, and Josh Sharp.
And it's Sharp again.
Sharp with a block. Sharp with an offensive rebound. Sharp with a defensive rebound. Sharp taking a charge. Since the timeout, Josh Sharp has come out, and he has brought energy to this team and to this crowd with his effort.
Wallace goes to the bench with his 4th personal foul, less than 3 minutes into the second half. This is a very vulnerable time now for the Tigers with their top gun out. Haas feeding Sharp, led him too far and out of bounds. Cougars turn it over. BYU still without any fast break points in this game.
That's amazing at this point in the game. Pacific, credit Pacific with their rebounding and with their ability to get back in transition.
Whistles are tightening things up now as Andrus picks up the foul, trying to deny Agihi.
And he's got to be physical with him down there, and so he's going to pick up a foul, but Agihi has had his way down there. He's got good spots. He's worked hard when he doesn't have the basketball to get that ball deep, and he's been able to convert.
Robinson. Robinson regroups after losing it. Agihi blocked by Collinsworth and out of bounds. Oh my! Well, they're letting them bang on both ends of the floor.
Wow, and this is another clean play up top. I love the ball fake by Agihi to get Andrus off his feet, but the help defense by Kyle Collinsworth was awesome.
And BYU's defense has electrified the Marriott Center. Cougars by 4. Robinson into the lane, back to Agihi, and he lays it in. Now with 11.
Agihi averages 7.7 points a game. Really playing a good one.
Deep in the corner, Fisher for 3. Fisher with 13. 3 of 4 from distance. BYU up 43-38. Cougars are 5 of 9 behind the arc tonight. Now the pressure mounts on the Tigers. Pacific 2 and 11. Robinson long on the 3, knocked out of Fisher's hands, and a timeout called by Ron Berlin. Sensing that his guys need to reboot, settle down, the veteran coach, 2 years as a head coach, but as mentioned, he's been on the bench at Pacific for 20 years before that. He knows when to call a timeout. So Pacific will regroup as BYU has opened up a 43-38 lead. Update from Gonzaga. Pepperdine hanging close, but it's the Zags with the win. And earlier, St. Mary's beat San Diego. So the top 2 teams in the league have come through on this Saturday. And BYU with a win tonight would give them a 2-game cushion on Pepperdine. And you want to be 2 or 3 if you can't be 1 in the WCC tournament.
Nobody wants to play the Zags in a game any other than the championship game of those first 3, I can tell you.
And it looks good for BYU to be the 3 seed, but again, they can't stumble, and they've got their hands full here tonight. Then it's San Diego here on Thursday, up to Portland, and they'll finish with Gonzaga. Robinson passes on the three, but Taylor doesn't. Taylor 31% from distance on the year, now with 5 points. That's a big one. Cuts the BYU lead to 2. McGehee trying to draw an offensive foul. Now it's Collinsworth looking for a lane to the basket. Turns it over, and a travel. 3:41 for the Cougars with 14:44 to play.
BYU now right at their season average for field goal percentage of 46.9.
Collinsworth up high off the glass. Reaches in, knocks the ball out of bounds. And it'll be Tiger ball. Chance to take the lead with a 3. Our scorebug brought to you by Brady Industries, provider of commercial cleaning supplies and equipment. Brady Industries, clean solutions, a tradition for generations, as Robinson ties it at 43. A dozen for Robinson. Haas quickly answers. And Tyler in double figures with 12. "14 minutes to go, 2-point game." Bowles into the lane to Aghihi. Contact and a whistle as he slammed into Isaac Nielsen. And Nielsen picks up his first personal foul.
And Pacific did a good job of getting the ball into the interior of that zone that time. They started off, and in fact, they had a really good shot opportunity with Lampkin right in the middle of the key. Elected not to take it and kicked it back out, but then BYU's defense was rotating at that point.
He's short. Tyler Haas in double figures for the 115th time. 2 away from Danny Ainge, the all-time leader with 117 games in double figures.
McGehee just a 54% free throw shooter. He gets 1 of 2.
12 points for Aghihi. He'll come out for the moment. It's a 1-point BYU lead.
And BYU, in terms of shooting percentage, almost 10 percentage points better. And you're thinking, how can Pacific be this close? But they're doing the good things. They're hustling. They're getting offensive boards, second chance opportunities. They're not turning the ball over.
Fight for the rebound off of Lampkin. Lampkin and Nielsen went after the Fisher miss. Now Collinsworth will throw it in, and we've got another whistle and a foul. And this will go against Pacific. Thompson gets his 4th. You get the feeling, Blaine, that the officials have decided that they're not going to lose control of this game.
Well, there's about a 4-minute stretch there where it got really, really physical, and the crowd got into it, and players were playing with a ton of passion, and all of a sudden the officials are saying, we got to reel this thing in. It's getting too physical.
Haas now with 14. BYU's lead back to 3.
BYU in that zone. Again, we've seen a little bit of man, and then they mix it back up, back and forth to keep Pacific off balance.
Bowles on the miss. Fisher chases down the rebound. Haas into the lane again. Sharp gets it back to him. Just needs a little daylight to get the shot off. Collinsworth going to back it out. 18 on the shot clock. Now shot clock under 10. Fisher waiting for Haas to come around, but there was a foul as Taylor trying to prevent Tyler from making his move, and Taylor picks up the foul.
Really good screen set down on the baseline by Kyle Collinsworth for Tyler Haas.
That's the 3rd on Taylor.
Taylor trying to get over the top of that screen or trail on that screen, just couldn't get through.
Haas off the glass. Nice pass from Fisher. Tyler with 16. Lead back to 5. That's the largest lead of the night.
Very important offensive possession for Pacific. They've got to be patient. Get it inside.
Aghihi, too strong. Sharp with another rebound. Haas open for 3. Out come the Tigers. Pacific's best player, T.J. Wallace, on the bench with 4 fouls. And there's a foul on Fisher. And the Tigers will have it out of bounds. First foul on Fisher. He's going to come out. And Skylar Halford will come in, along with Frank Bartley. And Hawes will catch a breather.
In this game, the last 6 or 7 minutes has been a frantic pace. Hard work out there. So you bring Bartley and Halford in and give Fisher and Hawes a little bit of a rest. And when you bring those 2 in, you get instant energy off the bench with those 2 at the guard line.
Taylor working on Bartley. Halford's assigned to deal with Robinson.
And BYU goes man-to-man with those 2 in.
Fight for the rebound off of the Cougars. With the Tigers right from the start. And before we even get in play, another foul. And this will go against Josh Sharp for the hold.
And credit to Pacific. You know, they come in here, big arena, great crowd here tonight, getting on them. And sometimes when you come into a big arena like this, you can feed off of that energy. You feed off of that home crowd energy. Love being the bad guys out there on the floor. And Pacific's done a great job. And they're taking care of the basketball like no time all season long. Just 4 turnovers through a game and a half here now.
Robinson, he's had his focus dialed in on tonight. Double figures in points and running the team. Now he's in charge of the offense here, and they need a bucket, down by 5. Open 3, and it goes for Taylor, now with 8. And the lead's down to 2. Halford traveled, turns it over. Pacific can tie with 2, and they grab the lead with a 3.
What good ball rotation, and that's a deep 3 by David Taylor, the sophomore out of Eckersdorf, Germany.
Seven turnovers for BYU. Mentioned the 4 for Pacific. It's allowing them to hang around. Taylor calling for the ball deep in the corner. Let's see if they can swing it back around to him. There he goes again. Robinson. Good speed matchup, Robinson and Halford. Taylor top of the key for 3, and the Tigers are in the lead. Wow. 50-49.
Back-to-back big shots by Taylor.
Collinsworth
very well.
Answers. He'll go to the line. We're going to have a lot of free throws over the next 10.5 minutes, aren't we?
Inside out this time. Ball taken in. The zone collapses. Kicks it back outside to Taylor. Well, he's having 2 big shots in a row.
Collinsworth at the line. He is 3 of 5. And he's quietly, Blaine, working toward another triple-double. Now with 12 points, 8 rebounds, and his assists are up to 6. Spencer Linton, what do you have?
Dave, as you mentioned, Kyle Collinsworth on triple-double watch once again. He was live on SportsCenter yesterday. He joked that some people were giving him a hard time for not getting a double-double in his performance against St. Mary's. He only had 17 points and 9 rebounds.
Halford after a Collinsworth rebound, and the Cougars back up by 2. Very laid back, Kyle Collinsworth. We were joking with him as he was warming up today a little bit, and he doesn't get too rattled, does he? Taylor blocked by Kafusi, and then a hard foul is going to send a Guy to the free throw line. And if it's Sharp, it'll be his 4th, and it is.
When BYU see 3 guys going after that shot, Hawes trailing in the play, and both Sharp and Kafusi come over to try to block the shot. That's going to leave a Guy wide open on that weak side to get the rebound and try to put it back in.
Guy misses the first. Fisher comes in. Collinsworth goes out. Now Sharp, who's been the spark defensively, is going to come out as well because he's just picked up his 4th. So he goes to the bench, and Bartley comes back in.
It's hard enough to make a free throw for a Guy, but with this background of the students, they come at you right when you're about to release it. They got like blow up things that go up.
He wants no part of it. Bartley on the rebound. 2 misses for the big fella. BYU by 2. Well, the noise completely turns off as the Cougars run their set play. And a foul as they try to hang on to Hawes to keep him from coming around the corner. And that's the 4th on Bowles. So the foul starting to pile up on the Tigers. Thompson with 4, Wallace with 4, Bowles now with 4, and Taylor with 3.
When you're defending Hawes, he's coming off of that screen, trying to curl off of that screen that Kafusi is setting for him. You can't stick your hand out and grab. You just have to put your nose right on his back numbers and follow him around the screen.
Caleb Warner checks in for Pacific. Fisher way outside. Hawes on the rebound. Kafusi back to Tyler. And Hawes, no foul. Lots of contact. Halford for 2. And the whistle, and there'll be a warning. The Tigers would leave that ball alone. So see Tyler mixing it up a little bit. A technical foul has been assessed to Lampkin. Ron Berlin, I think, is lobbying for a double technical, but a technical foul is on Jacob Lampkin. And let's see what happens here. There's a little nudge. And that's the technical foul. There must have been a little bit more.
Well, there was some talking going on before that, but that, to me, that wasn't that bad of a nudge. That's just all on a good day's work, right?
Yeah, I'm surprised by that.
He's just like, hey, I'm here.
So technical fouls assessed. Hawes is at the free throw line. Cougars by 4. And Ron Berlin is still seeking a better explanation than the one he's received thus far. We've seen a lot worse here in this half than that technical foul, unless that was just a message to everybody else. Hawes was 17. Second leading scorer in America, averaging 22.3, and he's on his way there. Now the lead is 6. Boy, what a turn of events here. A moment ago, the Tigers were in the lead, and now the Cougars with the ball and a 6-point advantage. And Ron Berlin still seeking an explanation. It's a 7-0 run.
And that's where it just kills you. You get the technical, and not only do you put Tyler Hawes, who's a tremendous free throw shooter, on the line to get points, but now you lose the basketball, because remember, Pacific had the ball.
That may be the weakest technical foul we've seen all season.
Yeah, that wasn't a lot.
As it stands, the Tigers now need some defense. Halford, he'll go to the line as he gets hit hard down low. And you see the frustrated Lampkin throws his arms in the air, and he's had a tough couple of minutes. But Halford in there, out of control, but there's contact, and he'll get some free throw.
And it's a good call. There's no question that was a foul on Lampkin, as he took his arms and went over the top instead of just going vertical and staying still. Tell you what, Skylar Halford, maybe the best word to describe him as he gets his 10th point here in the ballgame is he's just fearless. I mean, he is not a big guy out there, but he is on attack on both ends of the floor every minute that he's in a ballgame.
17 points Thursday against St. Mary's. Had 15 in a start at Pacific last month.
7 of the last 8 games for Skylar Halford. He's been in double figures, and his last 2, 18, 17, and now here he is in this one, looking good again for the Cougars.
Wallace back in the game with 4 fouls. BYU on a 9-0 run. Robinson, the fight down low, and Halford and Lampkin, and this one's going to go against Halford. And that's the first on Skylar, and we'll go to the free throw line.
And Lampkin, 6'9", 230-pound freshman out of Bellevue, Washington. He's working, and Halford's trying to deny him and front him and not allow him to have the ball.
Lampkin is a 58% free throw shooter. Bartley on the rebound and on the run. Bartley gets his own miss, puts it in.
Well, Bartley did not give up on the basketball that time, did he?
No. 11-0 run. Timeout, Pacific.
And for Bartley, shot gets blocked, a clean block by Agihi, but Bartley stays with it and has the presence to finish it. And he started that whole offensive series. He got the rebound, pushed the basketball, realized he didn't have numbers and kicked it back out. And eventually the ball came back to him and he attacked.
Largest lead of the game, 60-50 for the Cougars. And BYU will be here Thursday against San Diego. The Toreros beat the Cougars earlier in the season in San Diego. The rematch, 10 o'clock Eastern time, that's on ESPNU. And it just may be the night Tyler Haws passes Jimmer Fredette right here in the Marriott Center. So that's Thursday. There's Tyler, and tonight he has 18 points with a lot of time left. Well, you go back to that block shot by Josh Sharp, which ignited the arena as Agihi short on the shot. Bartley from out of nowhere on the rebound. Fisher for three. You get a sense the Tigers are up against the ropes.
And when
BYU swinging.
Yeah, when this crowd gets into it and that BYU transition game starts to feed off of the crowd, it's a scary thing.
Taylor looking for a lane to the basket. Nothing there. Agihi. Shot clock's at 7. Wallace. Big shot for Wallace. Boy, he's been quiet with those fouls. Now with 9 points.
Well, and immediately this crowd, it did quiet the crowd. That shot quieted the crowd momentarily.
Haws with contact. Kafusi with the rebound. And the Cougars will start it over again. Big rebound for Corbin Kafusi.
Pacific in man-to-man defense right now. And
Wallace assigned to deal with Haws.
And Taylor has Fisher right now.
Fisher, another 2. And here comes Robinson. BYU at the advantage now on the boards, 34-28. The Cougars are shooting 55% from the field in the second half.
And remember, Dave, that the rebounding battle was even in terms of total boards at the end of the half. And both coaches told us how important rebounding was going to be. BYU up 15-8 here in the second half in the rebounding category.
30-second timeout as the Tigers struggle to get the ball in and bounds. And so they call a timeout to avoid the turnover. Let's look at the WCC today, as now every game day is big. Loyola Marymount and Portland are underway late in the first half, and the Pilots lead it by 7. BYU still has to go to Portland and to Gonzaga as the Bulldogs beat Pepperdine. Chance for BYU to open up a 2-game lead in 3rd place if they can hang on here tonight on Valentine's Day, and it's a 10-point lead. Now the Tigers will try to throw it in again. BYU with good defense. And it's Wallace matched up with Halford as we near 7 minutes to go here on BYU TV. Wallace takes it in. Bartley blocks it out of bounds.
But if Bartley didn't block it, Kafusi on the help D was coming over, and he was ready to get a block of his own, and Bartley gets it from the backside. But look at Kafusi rotating over to help.
20 seconds on the shot clock. Wallace creates contact. Agihi tips it in. And the lead to 8. Agihi with 14 hard-earned points here tonight.
And that's 14 offensive boards now for Pacific. They've really gotten after it on the offensive end.
Collinsworth needs another rebound for a double-double. Bartley for 3. Frank with 7, leads 11. Casual demeanor, but he's a fighter. And now Bartley matched up with Thompson. Thompson has it blocked by Bartley.
Oh my.
Bartley gets it back. Another 3. No. This place has been renovated a little earlier.
Bartley was feeling his mojo right there, no doubt about it. He was checking it out.
They feed the post. Good position by Eric Thompson. Thompson now with 9, and the lead back to 9. Bartley inside Kaufusi. Around Agihi for his first bucket in 2 games.
And right now, they're yelling out to Bartley and Kaufusi saying, hey, you two switch, because with a small lineup on the floor, Bartley has had Thompson. And Bartley, remember, the guard Thompson, 6'8", 240.
Robinson over Bartley. Long rebound. Nope, left out of bounds. It'll be Cougar basketball.
And so they're going to have Bartley now go against Agihi, who's 6'10" and 250, but Thompson, a very physical player, have Kaufusi cover him.
Collinsworth credited for his 10th rebound, so a double-double. And he's a handful of assists away from another triple-double. He's got 6. Crowd wants Bartley to shoot it. He's way out there. He lobs it for Kaufusi. Corbin with the left hand. Back-to-back buckets for the freshman, now with 4. Now Thompson bangs into Kaufusi. Bit of a flop for Corbin.
I like the no call on that one. Very good job by the officials.
Halford at full speed. And a timeout by Dave Rose. 13 for Halford. Pacific had hardly enough time just to turn around before Halford laid it in. It's 72-59 and a 30-second timeout. So Kyle Collinsworth has 5 triple-doubles this season. That's the most anyone's ever had in college basketball in a single season. He's 1 away from tying the all-time record, which I believe Shaquille O'Neal has.
Career.
And so he's sitting on 5, and his number tonight, if you're following closely at home, 12 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists. He needs 3 assists over the next 4:41 to get another triple-double.
Well, and BYU students, they're following this thing. When he passed the ball over to Bartley a minute ago, they were like, shoot it! They're tracking Kyle Collinsworth's triple-double watch.
For folks at home, an assist, you throw it to a guy, he scores it, he can bounce it once and shoot and score it, you still get credited for the assist. He bounces it a couple times, not so much.
Now it's a shot on your own.
All right, we'll keep an eye on that.
So it's a pass that directly leads to a score is the definition, and so, yeah, we'll keep an eye on it.
Wallace over Hawes. Collinsworth fighting for it, and a jump ball with Thompson. Possession arrow favors BYU. More extra effort paying off for extra possessions.
Pacific going to come with some pressure now. They're going to full court trap, try to force some turnovers. Both these teams doing a good job of taking care of the basketball in this game.
We're near 4 minutes. BYU taking their time. Shot clock's at 10. Halford from Collinsworth for 3. That's a 3-pointer and an assist. And Collinsworth needs 2 more for a triple-double. What a shot by Halford.
What
16.
Beautiful rainbow. How good has Skylar Halford been in the last 9 games, especially in these last 3? He's put it in overdrive, but what a difference maker he's been for BYU.
Robinson to answer. There's Sharp with another rebound. Collinsworth to Kaufusi. What a swat by Thompson.
Oh my, that was a nasty rejection by Thompson. And that's a guy with 4 fouls.
Back and forth we go, and here's Thompson. Blocked by Sharp. about Josh Sharp? He's got 4 fouls as well. And that doesn't slow him down at all. Under 3 minutes to go here at the Marriott Center. Hawes steps back. Sharp flies in with another rebound. Where does he come from?
He flies. Is a good. The way you described it, he flies through the air.
Two and a half minutes to go. Alford backs it out. Hawes, shot clock's at 5. Tyler in, hit hard, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2 with 2:15 to go. All of this on the heels of a dominating performance over St. Mary's on ESPN2 Thursday night. Free throw for Hawes is good, now with 19. There's Collinsworth. Hawes knocks them both down. 77-59.
20 points for Hawes, 7 of 16 from the field. Another great. Hawes just does this every single night.
Wallace. You get to 2 minutes here in Provo. McGehee kept alive, and it's Collinsworth and Kaufusi on the run. Kaufusi to finish! Kyle needs one more assist for a triple-double for the 6th time this year. That would tie him for the all-time career record in college basketball.
How about that finish by Kaufusi?
Collinsworth has 90 seconds to see if he can do it. Wallace for 3 off the front end, and Hawes caught up with McGehee down low, and the foul's going to go against Collinsworth. As you see the dunk a moment ago. First foul on Collinsworth. As active as a player as Kyle is, his first foul in a game like this. And it comes with 1:19 remaining. McGehee's at the line. Fisher will come in. Hawes will go out. All the drama that's left is whether or not Collinsworth can dish out one more assist.
Well, the 1:19, they're going to have to, they can't just sit on the basketball now after these free throws. They're going to have to do at least another offensive set.
How about 6 points here in the second half from Kaufusi? Sharp on the rebound.
That's 8 rebounds for Josh Sharp. We've been talking about lack of production in the rebounding game, and he has brought that the last couple of games. Earned his right to start.
Collinsworth needs one more assist as we arrive at 1 minute to go. And he'll get the ball. Chance to do it here. Fisher for a triple-double for Collinsworth. No.
And you know that Fisher knew that that was what was on the line, don't you think?
Fisher on the steal. Out to Collinsworth. Could this be it? Halford. He's fouled. He'll go to the line. And an intentional foul is called. Let's take a look at this. Oh, you see the grab there. McGehee grabbing Collinsworth. So then Halford's hit hard. There could have been 2 flagrants on that. 2 shots coming for Halford.
Boy, in a couple of opportunities, they have a set play with the clock winding down, the shot clock for Fisher to hit a 3, and that would have been an assist for Collinsworth, and then another one there.
Collinsworth's coming out. The crowd's not happy about it. But what a night for Kyle. 12 points, 12 rebounds, and 9 assists. Free throws are good for Halford. And BYU's going to have the basketball. And so Nielsen will check in. tough one here if you're Dave Rose. Do you leave him in for one more pass? You got a chance at 6. That's not how Dave Rose rolls, however.
You want to know what? Kyle Collinsworth may get that later in the. I mean, this is the kind of player he is. He's going to fill up the stat sheet every single time he's on the floor. What a game Skylar Halford has had again.
Sharp's had a big game. Haas has been consistent. BYU has broken this one open, but it was tight. It wasn't too long ago. Pacific had the lead. Difference of about a second and a half from the game clock and the shot clock. Here's Sharp from the outside, and why not? A three-pointer. His first basket of the game. And we've got a whistle and a foul. And the Tigers are going to get it out of bounds. There's Sharp's 3. Only shot he took tonight.
A well-deserved open shot because he's done everything else that BYU's asked him to do to impact this basketball game with his hustle and his rebounding and his defense.
Robinson, final seconds off the front end, and BYU has a 20-win season for the 10th straight season under head coach Dave Rose. 84-59.